What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, back with part 8 of this career mode. Today we're here for the Canadian Grand Prix in round 7 of season 1. And as you might have seen there on the screen, we've got some upgrades coming into this session. We've got a drag upgrade, but the engine upgrades unfortunately have failed, which could have costed us a lot on a power track, which is disappointing. We move on anyway. We've got a drag upgrade anyway, so that should at least improve us on the straights. But coming off the back of a point then in Monaco, a result we didn't expect to actually take in Monaco, considering that to be one of our worst tracks on this game. Well, one of the worst tracks of any games I've played. Are just not very good around Monaco, but a good strategy and some good car management and everything like that managed to get us a point in Monaco. And then coming into Canada, one of my strongest tracks actually, we've actually raised the difficulty as well, because in practice we were quite quick. So we're back up to 95 and back up to Legend AI. So I'm happy with that. So hopefully that'll continue for the rest of, well, for the time being, until I can up it again very soon, hopefully, as we head into qualifying then for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let's see how it goes then with 95 AI back up to 95. We were 95 in Australia and Bahrain, then been 92 since China towards Monaco, and now we're back up to 95. Starting to feel a bit more comfortable as we head into our qualifying lap then, and braking nicely into turn 1. We're currently P12 at the moment, so again, even on 95 AI, we've actually found a bit of pace, split into two Renaults at the moment. So Hulkenberg in front of us, as we come through sector 1, we're actually up on our time already, so it could even be an improvement already of previous time, so we could perhaps be fighting for the top 10 at this point, who knows. As we come through sector 1, we're up by some margin actually, we're not even that far off of pole position, so it's going quite well so far. So let's see how the rest of the lap goes, whether we can, how close we can get to the top, get DRS, and then nicely, well, just about going over that chicane, keeping it on the track limits just about. I think any further to the left, we would have been getting that warning. And I don't really like to do too many qualifying laps if I'm going to get warnings, but it just feels a little bit cheaty. But if I don't get any warnings, I'm not going to complain too much. But we've got DRS then. Coming up to the final corner then, we've got a car in front of us. Hopefully that doesn't distract us too much. Come to the final corner then to see whether this lap will move us up the order, and hopefully it will. There's a few tenths then that we've improved, so that should move us potentially up the order. And as you can see there, just about in the top left, there's a P6, so we're going to be starting 6th then for the Canadian Grand Prix, our best qualifying yet, despite upping the AI as well. So perhaps they're just a little bit slower around Canada, but even then Sergio Perez is in front of us, so Sebastian Vettel having a disappointing day, and so is Max Verstappen. For some reason Max Verstappen's driving like Gasly is in real life today, but there you go, we're up into P6 then. Our teammates down in last place, so maybe I should have upped the AI even more, because that's a bit embarrassing for myself to be in 6th and Albon to be down in last. But who knows, we'll see how it goes on in the race then, as we head into the race then for the Canadian Grand Prix. Well, our best qualifying then so far. We've got Vettel and Verstappen behind us on the grid, so we have to watch out for them. Let's see if we can keep in the sort of position that we're in. Who knows how it's going to go in the race though, but we'll see. Let's have a look at the grid order then for the Canadian Grand Prix. And it was Lewis Hamilton on pole position then for Mercedes, alongside Charles Leclerc having a better day than his teammate, Bottas 3rd, Gasly having a better day than his teammate in 4th, Perez doing well in 5th, a racing point myself, Magnussen and Weber doing quite well there, Verstappen, Stroll getting in the top 10 at his home Grand Prix, Verstappen, Hulkenberg and Ricciardo, Lando Norris and Butler, and then Grosjean down in 16th, Raikkonen in 17th, and Russell, Albon and Kubica running off the grid in a race that he won several years ago now. So let's head on into the race then, from P6 on the grid as those 5 red lights come on to signify the start of the race. And it's out now and we're away in Canada. It's a fairly slow start already, and we're losing places to Magnussen and Weber straight off the start, giving Magnussen a little bit of a tap there. So again, we lost 2 positions off the start just like that, and it's such a short run down to turn 1, and we're down to P8, so that's a poor start from us. We lose position to Weber and Magnussen. Now Max Verstappen's there as well behind us, so we've got to watch out for him, and we're likely not to be able to stay in front of Magnussen, so this could be a difficult race for us then, because we've got to try and get past Lucas Weber. And Perez has had a good start as well, he's got ahead of Pierre Gasly, so good start from Sergio Perez, poor start from us. Now Max Verstappen's going to be looking to take P8 away from us. We could be losing 3 places on the lap 1. probably a worse start to the race so far, and Verstappen does get past. Now we got Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel, so we might even be out of the points already at this point. And well, there goes the Racing Point past us into the hairpin, but we outbrake him and force him out wide, and that's allowed Sebastian Vettel to get through. So now we could be down to P10 because Vettel's in the Ferrari. He's in a much faster car, much better engine as well, as he's pulling alongside us, and he's almost going to be past us before the final corner as we again outbrake him, and now we're just keeping it on the brakes. We don't want to give these positions up too easily, and we stay in P9 then at the end of lap 1, and it could easily be in a P11 at the end of lap 1, but with P9 we lost 3 places off the start, and now we've got to try and settle down into this race and see if we can gain any positions. But then let's have a look at the replay then of the start. Hamilton in the lead there. You can just see how poor of a start. We went to cover off Magnussen, but then Weber just went past us as well. Magnussen was already past us at this point. The Racing Point didn't try and get past us into turn 1. Could have perhaps dived down the inside into turn 2. There was a gap there, but didn't in the end. It was side by side with Sergio Perez. Side with Verstappen, I should say. Verstappen getting past him then. So that was actually Lance Stroll, my bad, because Perez is a little bit down the road in front of us, getting past Pierre Gasly there. So Max Verstappen then getting past us into, past Lance Stroll into P9. Now he gets past us into P8. So he's in the big sister team as well. So he's in a Red Bull. So really we should be sort of not giving too much of a fight. But again, we have to prove ourselves as well at this point. But Lance Stroll coming past us, then he gets past us, but we just outbrake him and then force him out wide as we get past him. And then Vettel spots the perfect opportunity to get past, and does. He takes that comfortably. But coming up then to the final corner, Vettel gets a nice run on us out of the hairpin, gets a good exit out of the hairpin. But coming to the chicane, we just decide to outbrake him, and we keep hold of P9 after a disappointing start. Then we lost 3 positions. Let's see what we can do then in the rest of the race. Let's carry on, and then on to the end of lap 2. We've got Sebastian Vettel behind us, so surely it's only a matter of time before we lose a P9 now. As he goes around the outside, we raise our hand there, so it looks like we made a little bit of contact, but surely it's only a matter of time before Sebastian Vettel now gets past us. And here we are riding on board with Sebastian Vettel. It looks like he's easily going to get past now, and indeed he does. So Vettel now takes hold of P9, and we're down to P10. So we're getting a little bit of slipstream from Vettel, but it doesn't look like it's going to pay any dividends this time. We just got to let him go and let him get along with his race. We've got to get along with our race, and we can see now in P10. So there's a little battle going on ahead of us. It looks like Verstappen and Weber are fighting each other. So Weber's going backwards a little bit here, so perhaps we can focus on trying to get past Lucas Weber. He might be a close fight with him in this race. Lance Stroll, he's there as well. We might have to really dig in deep then for this race, see if we can get points. And perhaps 95 AI is a little bit quicker in the race than they are in qualifying around here. So who knows? It's a good challenge. We're actually having to fight really hard with these guys at the moment, and with the higher AI it's good as well, so it just means that we're a little bit quicker than then that's good. So Lance Stroll then, he's behind us. We're falling back from these guys now a little bit, so a disappointing opening stint, and we could be out of the points before we know it, locking up quite heavily there into the hairpin. So it's going to be a difficult race to stay in these points by the looks of it at this rate. Lance Stroll will have DRS, but we have DRS on Vettel still, so he's going to be looking to get past Weber, but we're very happy to have DRS, because otherwise we'd be a sitting duck to Lance Stroll on this straight. But coming through the final chicane as yellow flags, but we do get a good exit because Vettel and Weber holding each other up a little bit there, but there's yellow flags ahead of us. What is that for? There's a slow car in front of us, and it's Sergio Perez out of the race then. So after such a good qualifying for Perez, qualifying up at P5, that's a lot of points going away for Racing Point. He's had a good start to the season so far, a lot better than Lance Stroll, who's behind us. He's been on the podium in Baku, of course, if anyone remembers watching that one. But he's retired from this race, so that's disappointing for him. And again, we get out of shape and onto the grass a little bit, and that's going to put Lance Stroll well interested in overtaking us. And there's 2 Renaults behind us as well now, so there's the Renaults of Hulkenberg and Ricciardo, both looking to get past us. Lance Stroll gets past us, and it looks like Hulkenberg, but Ricciardo damages his front wing there. You can see a little bit of Renault front wing falling off. He makes contact with Hulkenberg, his teammate, and now we've got both the Renaults trying to get past us, so we're just slipping down the field at this point, and it's just a real struggle to keep ahead of these guys. To be fair, we've probably outperformed the car a little bit in qualifying, but it's still frustrating when you qualify so high and just to see you go down the order. And that's the way it's going to be in this race. Is both the Renaults now still looking to get past us into the final chicane, but we just bat them off and we carry on with our day at the moment. So the Renault's still staying behind us. There's a Haas of Kevin Magnussen behind. I think it's Kevin Magnussen at least. It could be Grosjean, but now we've got Lance Stroll in front of us. In fact, it would be Grosjean because Magnussen's a little bit further up the order, I think. But Lance Stroll then is ahead of us. We're still in P10. Thanks to his teammate retiring, we'd be out of the points at this rate if Perez was still in the race. But moving on then, we're on to lap 6, and this time we decide it's going to be our lap box to hit this lap. And look at the tyres, we're just really struggling to get any grip on traction on these tyres. So we're going to box this lap then for some medium tyres, go to the end of this race. Maybe we'll get an undercut on the guys that haven't pitted. In fact, no one's really pitted, so as you can see, no one's coming into the pit lane. We're going to be the first person to pit and put on these medium tyres and go to the end of the race then. So hopefully an undercut attempt may get us back into this race, but we'll see. Grosjean was catching us up a little bit as well there. So now we're into the pits for these medium tyres. The Renaults were slowing each other down a bit there as well, and I think Ricciardo's front wing damage obviously slowed him down. So the Renaults had a little fight for the points almost there, but again, it wasn't to be by for the time being. Of course, Ricciardo getting front wing damage has probably slowed him down. So I don't know what happened to Hulkenberg though. But moving on then, we're on the end of lap 8, coming on to lap 9. Some cars have made their pit stops now, and then you can see just ahead of us is Vettel's behind us, but Vettel comes out of the pits and we're only just behind Sebastian Vettel. So we almost got an undercut attempt working on a Ferrari. So our pace was really good. We managed to get ahead of Kevin Magnussen now. So we're up into P10 at this point. So we've managed to gain a few places for sure, because Magnussen was well up the order, definitely. Must have been about P5 or P6, because he was ahead of Weber, he's ahead of Verstappen. But speaking of Magnussen, he's now behind us after coming out of the pits, and he's looking to get past us on the outside, but doesn't get past that time. We just don't allow him the room to come past there. So we'll stay ahead of Kevin Magnussen for the time being, but we're going to watch out for him for the next few laps, because he's going to be looking to get past us. And you can see there's a few cars ahead of us as well, yet to stop. So perhaps we'll move up the order a little bit more then after everyone's pitted, because we should be ahead of Lance Stroll as well. Perhaps we're ahead of Lucas Weber as well after his pit stop. But Kevin Magnussen then, he's going to be the one we're watching out for the rest of this race, hopefully, unless we can catch up with the guys ahead. But it looks like it's going to be very unlikely with the likes of Verstappen and Vettel being ahead of us. So we're in P8 at this point. So yeah, there we go. Now moving on to lap 11, Devon Butler is ahead of us. So we'll be looking to get past Devon Butler. So he's yet to stop though. Butler's going long into this race on the medium tyres. Should be coming in for, I'd imagine, a set of softs. So we're in a net P7 then. So we've gained 3 places then in the pit stops. I'd guess that's on Magnussen, Weber and Stroll. But now we're getting held up a little bit by our F2 rival, Devon Butler. So we've got to watch out. And Kevin Magnussen's going to be all over us as well. So we're going to be trying to get past Devon Butler, but we've got to watch out for Magnussen as we come around the hairpin. Hopefully we can get DRS and get past Devon Butler as well. So we need to get Butler out the way really if we want to keep hold of P7 in this race. Magnussen's going to be all over us. He's going to have DRS, he's got the faster engine. But can we get past Devon Butler into the last corner? And we can look down to the inside. Butler goes into the pits and that throws us off badly. And now Magnussen's going to be all over us. We come down the start-finish straight. He looks to make a move down in the inside into the corner. You can see Verstappen and Vettel battling just ahead of us. But now it's a battle between myself and Kevin Magnussen for P7 then in this race. Again, he's all over us. He's looking for that move into turn 3. We're just trying to defend now because that moment with Devon Butler has really thrown us off. And now, but Magnussen well in reach with getting past us. And surely it's only a matter of time before Kevin Magnussen in the faster car does get past us. Here's a moment where he tried to overtake us a few laps ago. He's going to the outside again. Can he get past on the outside? It looks like he's got ahead. We outbrake him, locking up, force him out again. So Magnussen's not getting past there. So can Magnussen get past us into the hairpin? It looks a bit too far back, but you have DRS going on to the back straight, and that's probably the best bet for an overtaking spot around here. We can go around the hairpin, and you can see there's a few cars behind us as well. So if we don't want to be holding each other up too much, because those guys will catch up if we're not careful. So riding on board with ourselves, See, Magnussen's getting closer with DRS, but is he getting close enough to really get past us into the last corner? Doesn't look like it this time around. So we stay in P7 this lap. We're ahead of Kevin Magnussen, so we don't have to worry too much about it this time. But moving on to the next lap then, we've still got Magnussen behind us, but hopefully we keep ahead of him. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to keep him behind for too much longer because he's in such a faster car than us. It just engine, everything, aero, chassis and engines all better than us. It's just in every way. And it's just going to be a struggle to keep him behind. But you can see Lance Stroll behind as well. So coming through this corner again, he's attempted to overtake us into the next corner a few times on the outside. Maybe his best bet's to go onto the inside this time. But no, he goes to the outside. Hoping to get past us. Is he going to be able to make it stick? We stick it past him again, outbraking him, and again Max can't get past this time. But surely it's just only a matter of time now. We come up to the hairpin. He's a lot closer than he was this time last lap. So and we lock up again. That's not going to help. So is Magnussen going to be able to get past this time onto the back straight? He's going to have DRS, and surely this is the moment that Magnussen gets past us. He's getting so much closer with DRS. He's going to go to the inside. And he's going to get past us before the corner even. He's on the inside, so the best chance is if we can get a cutback as we try to do that. And we go onto the outside, we get a cutback, but Magnussen again getting more traction. We go wide a little bit there, so it's not to be this time. And Magnussen looks like he's finally got past us then for P7, and indeed that is how it is then. So we're on the last 2 laps of this race, settled for P8. The gap to Magnussen's extended a little bit. He's settled for P7. There's no way he's going to catch up to the top 3 teams. But we haven't been caught up by Lance Stroll. So in these last 2 laps then, it looks like we're set for 2 points finishes in a row. So perhaps picking up a little bit of momentum now in this career mode. Getting our first point in Monaco. Looks like we're going to be able to get points here in Canada. 4 points, put us into 5 points. So we've had a fairly decent start to this career mode. In terms of actual, sort of results. We've been close to points a few times already this season, but now it looks like we'll be able to pick up our second amount of points this season. We've run wide into the hairpin, but hopefully that doesn't allow Stroll to catch us up. But yeah, we've had those chances of points come and gone, and now it looks like we're going to be able to actually get points again this time, and should hopefully redeem our issues that we had in Baku and Spain as well. Where we had a chance of points and thrown them away. We came close in China. We were just 1 place outside the points. So coming on to the last lap then, this is a good chance to get us really, get the ball rolling really, and hopefully start impressing every other team. We need to start getting a little bit of reputation going up, because the reputation isn't really too good at the moment. We're not really impressing too many people, and we're almost running into the wall there as well. We already know about running into the wall on the last lap and spinning it, throwing points away, and we really don't want to do that again. So just a few corners left. We've got ourselves in P8, and we've lost 2 places then off the start, but that really was to Vettel and Verstappen, and we gained one on Lance Stroll's teammate Sergio Perez. So we lost one to Magnussen. So I guess it's a good race. We only really have been overtaken by cars that are faster than us, so we can't really have too many complaints about where we are in the order really. We're ahead of Lance Stroll, who's in a faster racing point. He's having a terrible season. I mean, if there is any driver transfers, I wouldn't be surprised to see him getting shipped out, even though his dad owns that team. But there we go then. We crossed the line, and it's going to be 4 well-deserved points then, and an 8th place. Our best result so far in this career mode. So that's a good result then, and that should put us up in the championship, and that should actually allow us to overtake Williams as well in the constructors, which is moved us up from bottom then. So that is definitely what we wanted, definitely what Toro Rosso needed, because we should not be behind Williams in the constructors by any means at all. So there we go then. Hamilton winning the race from Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc was 3rd, so he slipped down 1 place, and that's the end of the race then. So let's have a look at the final standings, and then we'll have a look at the driver standings as well. So Verstappen finished 4th, Gasly finished 6th. In the end, that's pretty much accurate to real life, to be fair. Verstappen starting all the way down there and still finishing ahead of Gasly. But Stroll, Grosjean getting a point in the end, so Haas were really quite strong this weekend. Weber fell out of the points, unfortunately for him, and Norris and Hulkenberg and Ricciardo finishing well down the order in the end, so front wing damage really didn't help his day. We're up to 13th in the driver standings, so that's good news for us, ahead of several drivers now. So we're actually up into 8th, we've overtaken Alfa Romeo, so that's good news for us. Mercedes still lead the way, so good day then at Canadian Grand Prix. But that's going to be the end of the episode there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it today. I'll see you guys soon for the French race. Not sure when it'll be uploaded because I'm at Silverstone, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.